Hello, today I'm going to be teaching you about calorimetry. So, what is calorimetry? Well, calorimetry is the act of measuring the change of heat in a chemical reaction or a physical change. You can use calorimetry to find the enthalpy of a reaction or the specific heat capacity of a substance. But, how do we measure this change? With a calorimeter. A calorimeter is a well-insulated container that is used to measure this change in heat, but will also keep any heat from escaping or getting in. Now, there are many types of calorimeters, but the two most common types are bomb calorimeters, which keep a constant volume, and coffee cup calorimeters, which keep a constant pressure, and those are normally made of two styrofoam cups, which is normally topped with a tinfoil cover to restrict heat from leaving. So, let's say you want to carry out a calorimeter experiment using a coffee cup calorimeter, and you want to find the enthalpy of a solution. Let's say we use water and calcium chloride. So, to conduct this experiment, you're going to get the initial temperature of the water, which you put in the calorimeter first before you add the calcium chloride. Okay, so now that you have the initial temperature of the water, you are going to add the calcium chloride. And keep in mind, as soon as you put in the solid to the water, you're going to close the calorimeter so no heat can escape. And once it's closed, you're going to stir the solution well and wait to reach a final temperature, then record it. Now for this particular reaction, not only are the products going to be calcium ions and chlorine ions, but there's also going to be heat in the products because the temperature increased, which shows that this was also an exothermic reaction. So, what can you do with this data from the calorimeter experiment? Well, you can figure out what the change of heat or enthalpy change is, which is delta H. You can figure this out as long as you know the specific heat capacity of the liquid. Since Q is the same as delta H, to calculate this change in enthalpy, you can use the equation Q equals mc delta T. Q stands for the energy, m stands for the mass of the substance that was added to the water, C stands for the specific heat capacity of the water, which is 4.186 joules per grams degrees Celsius, and delta T is the final temperature minus the initial temperature. You can also determine whether the reaction was endothermic or exothermic. If the delta H is negative, that indicates that the reaction was exothermic, and if it was positive, then it's endothermic. However, you will already know if the reaction was endo or exothermic based on whether the temperature increased or whether the temperature decreased. If you are given the Q value, you can also figure out the specific heat capacity of a substance. The heat capacity is how much heat a substance needs to raise its temperature, while specific heat capacity is the amount of heat required to raise 1 gram of a substance by 1 degree Celsius, and is measured by joules per gram degree Celsius. A calorie is used as a unit of said heat required. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later.